On Wednesday, OPEC and its allies agreed to a tiny increase in output. Recall that during his trip to Saudi Arabia, US President Joe Biden called on the world's oil exporting countries to pump more oil to tackle rising energy prices. As a result, despite such a slight increase in production, oil prices still edged lower. Notably, members of oil producers group OPEC Plus again marked a limited spare capacity to increase output and agreed that they would produce an additional 100,000 barrels a day. Thus, the latest production output increase is at a much slower pace than in recent months. Besides, yesterday it became known that US crude oil inventories increased by about 4.5 million barrels against market expectations of a contraction. This signals easing oil demand in the country. According to the Energy Information Administration, US households now use fewer vehicles than at the height of the pandemic in the summer of 2020. From a technical point of view, Brent crude oil futures gained stronger downside momentum after the price fixed below $98 per barrel. In fact, this indicated a continuing downtrend initiated in mid-June. A confirming signal will be generated after the price breaks through 94.50, the local low posted on July 14. In this case, Brent crude will be able to overcome the area of 96,100 and sellers will have every chance of taking the lead. Meanwhile, gold is still trading around its monthly high. Ahead of US jobs data to be released tomorrow, the yellow metal is in demand among traders. The employment report is expected to be weak, which will allow the US Federal Reserve to slow down the pace of interest rate hikes. Although several members of the Federal Open Market Committee have recently announced their firm intention to continue the aggressive policy tightening in an attempt to rein in a high inflation. During a short-term pullback, gold futures retreated from the resistance level of 1,780 and slid to the 1,750 mark, where the volume of short positions decreased. As a result, the quarter rallied again. A strong buy signal will come after the price consolidates above the level of 1,780 on the forward chart. Until then, the metal is likely to trade sideways in a 30-pip range. As for the Russian currency, yesterday's trade was subdued except for a local surging activity at the opening of the session, after which range-bound trading resumed. And in this situation, it's risky to enter the market due to uncertainty. Thus, it's worth focusing on the 61.50 mark in the case of a rally towards the 62.65 and 65 area. At the level break of 58.50 will resume a downtrend. And that's all for now. We continue to learn developments on financial markets. Subscribe to our channel and follow news with us. See you soon.